Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here, and if you did not already hear about it, Yongnuo announces a new budget-friendly lens, a 100mm f2. So if you aren't already familiar with who Yongnuo is and what their company is, they're an overseas company that essentially makes very budget-friendly gear. Now, it's not made in the US, and that's one of the common complaints, but they release flashes and flash triggers and everything that are really great quality, in my opinion. I haven't had a lot of things fail for a fraction of the price of what's on the market, and they really give a challenge to the big brands and big names out there. One of the biggest things they did within the last 2 years, year and a half, was make two lenses, and they made a 50mm f1.8, the 50 nifty knockoff for Canon. I think it came to Nikon as well. And then they also made a Yongnuo 35 f2 for Canon and Nikon as well. And, you know, once again, this is $100 compared to like 200. This is around the same for the most part of what this one is, but it's $50 that you can literally get from B&H Photo. Now, one of the things that they're challenging right now is the Canon 100mm f2, which is $500. But this right here will cost under $200. The exact same build as well, if you're taking a look right here. Now, some of the biggest things about these lenses, and especially these right here, is that they aren't the best optically. They're not that sharp for the most part, but you can get by, especially if you're learning and you're growing. I have used the 50mm before. I didn't really do a video on it because it was actually not a good lens in my opinion. But you know, if you don't like the pixel peep and everything like that, which I don't like to do either, the autofocusing is very slow and it doesn't really give a sharp image corner to corner. But once again, for a fraction of the price, you can really get something that you couldn't before. I mean, and they autofocus, they do everything like they normally will. And essentially this 100mm is going to do the same. It's a very popular lens for Canon, and really the only thing close to Nikon, I guess, is a macro, and that's their micro, and that's their 105 f2.8. But you know, 8 elements in 6 groups, 58mm size, which is pretty much the same 9-blade aperture. You're going to get an interesting run with this, and it's just been interesting that. What are your thoughts? I mean, is this something that's good for the market? And I always bring this up when these are released because I think it's going to be interesting. Now, the fact that this is under $200, it's definitely something that I'm most likely going to check out. They usually release a Canon version first, and then 2 or 3 months later, they'll trickle out the Nikon versions to see how it sells. Now, from what I know, they don't sell a ton to make a huge share, but they do enough. The fact that they're doing something else, again, this has been rumored for a little bit. We didn't know if it was going to come true, but this is it, and this is pretty much what you're getting right here. The Yongnuo 100mm f2. Wow. Probably not going to be the best optically unless they learn some things that they didn't have before, but it's going to be interesting to see how this could compare with, say, what they're kind of going against is the Canon 100mm f2 as well. Be very interesting to see how the bokeh is and everything with this, and to see what kind, what the compression will look like. Is it going to be sharp? Is it going to be worth it? Let's do our best to check it out. What are your thoughts on this lens down below? Would you want something like this on your system? When will they make a 24-72.8 for $500? Bet you they can. We'll see.